In today's video, for about 10 bucks, we're making this little motorized bike. And the best part is it requires no welding. So let's get to it. So the biggest problem I think people have with doing these kind of projects without having a welder is the main piece that I always see in a lot of videos is the motor mounts are always really complicated, where they'll try to take some flat bar and bolt it all together and make a whole jig. The best thing you can do is try to carve it out of as few pieces as possible. And as you saw with this motor mount here, it was just some 4x4 box tube that we just made one piece. I mean, the hinge assembly, the motor mount, all that stuff is all one big piece. So I think that's going to be a big help, is if people try to keep it really, really simple and use as few pieces of metal as possible. Now, this motor does have a pretty nice style of bolting where it's the 4 bolts at the face of the engine. And I think a lot of older leaf blowers had that, especially the backpack blowers. So if you're out at yard sales or estate sales, try to keep an eye out for those old backpack blowers. The carburetion's a lot better on them. The motors just look really cool, and they also have really nice mufflers, so they stay pretty quiet. All right, guys, so to operate this thing, you just pull the throttle up to its first little notch. Now it's running. And all you have to do is just pedal it up to a few miles an hour. You can take this whole rototiller piece, and it does that. And when you come up to a stop, all you have to do is just kind of reach down and lift that up. That way it disengages the motor. I mean, look at that little motor go, man. The friction drive works out really good. Quick little interjection. I want to thank you so much. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. So without you guys watching and being here to encourage me, this channel wouldn't be what it is. It's a whole lot to me to know that 2,000 people have chosen to hit that subscribe button and just go along for the journey of whatever the hell I'm making that day. So seriously, guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Anyways, let's get back to this video. So here's the leaf blower I started out with. It was a $10 Facebook Marketplace find. The person didn't know if it ran, but it did have compression. So when I got there, they just kind of left it on their front porch. So I gave the little handle a pull start, and it had loads of compression. So I handed over the $10 bill and brought home this beautiful little backpack blower. When I got home, I dumped some fuel into it, and lo and behold, on the second pull, the darn thing fired up and ran wonderfully. Almost so good that I tempted just to leave it alone and use it as its intended purpose. But ultimately, I wanted to make a fun video for you guys, and I had this old Murray laying around the shop. So I did wind up dismantling it, as you see here. And what's nice about these leaf blowers, they have a nice long shaft in which you could attach a bicycle peg to. And I did start out with this peg here, but I went a little bit smaller for the friction drive, only because I live in a slightly hilly area, so about 3/4 of an inch is perfect for this kind of use. So I started out by drilling the 4 holes that mount the motor to this big box tube here, and then just taking a hole saw and cutting a big hole in it. That way the friction drive spindle has plenty of room to kind of, if I go bigger or smaller, it'll fit right into there, as you see here. And I guess really the only special tool I used was this acetylene, which I'm not good with, but I had to bend up a rod for my little motor engagement lever. Oh, damn it. guess I could go a little higher on the acetylene. Whoa. Yeah, a little too much. I think I just put some on top of the toolbox. And now with this 3/8 rod bent with a couple of 90s on either end, I went ahead and drilled a pretty small hole. I want to say it was just a hair under 1/8 of an inch. And I drilled 2 holes on each end. That way I could put a cotter pin through it. That way everything stays in place. And the handle you see mounted to the fork, this is just off an old edge trimmer, which are pretty dime a dozen. Well, this thing turned out so much better than I expected. You know, I was a little bit hesitant to do it without a welder. But, you know, at the end of the video, I'll show some up closes. That way you guys can kind of recreate it on your own. If you don't have a welder, I highly suggest you get one. They're on Amazon for like $100. So they're cheaper than a 3D printer in a lot of cases. They're easier to use, at least I think they're easier to use. And a welder makes everything so much more simple. But without a welder, you can still build something like this, have a great time out there. And in my bag full of stickers, I think it gets my stamp of approval. This thing turned out freaking awesome! Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and here's just a few up-closes of what the engine mount looks like and kind of how I routed everything. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.